So, actually, we have a lot to get to today because we have a lot of news to talk about, and we also have the preview for AEW Rampage. So, even though I think I could probably stretch it into 3 videos, I think I'm going to try and squeeze it into 2 just to save a little bit of time. But either way, it was reported, I believe, yesterday that Devon Dudley himself went on Twitter and acknowledged the fact that he is no longer a part of WWE. And it was a mutual decision on the part of himself and World Wrestling Entertainment to part ways. Devon, as some may not know, has been working as a road agent backstage with WWE for the last couple of years, spending a lot more time down in NXT, working with the talent of the future, as he puts it. And there was an acknowledgement to his tweets by somebody from his past, that being Bubba Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley, which actually it was just Bubba Ray's way of acknowledging it was the watching eyes and thinking emoji. So that does raise the question of, could this lead to Devon making his way up to Impact Wrestling to join his former tag team partner in Impact Wrestling, where Bubba Dudley is, or Bully Ray is, currently a top heel within the company, working with the likes of Josh Alexander. I'm not saying that we're going to see Devon move to a company and possibly perform, because I do think Devon's days of being in the ring are done. Again, I could be wrong, but I do think Devon's days of being in the ring are long done because of past surgeries that Devon has had that may or may not have taken Devon out of the ring. With that being said, though, I think it opens up the possibility of Devon going somewhere else. But much like WWE did, I wish Devon nothing but the best in his future, because I do not think that Devon is done with professional wrestling. Whether he goes to AEW, whether he goes to Impact Wrestling, whether he just sits at home and does things with the training academy, or works with his sons to help further train his boys, who have actually worked, I believe, matches for AEW Dark and Elevation, as Terrence and Terrell are a tag team, and have worked AEW in the past. But I wish nothing but the best for Devon Dudley. Speaking of somebody I wish nothing but the best for, apparently Bret Hart is set to open up a bar, the Hitman Bar in Calgary, with more information to come next month. I know Hulk Hogan is the one that has a restaurant in Tampa with his, I believe, what's it called? Store. I think he has a retail store and maybe a restaurant. I'm not really sure off the top of my head, but I know, Hogan has some sort of retail space down in Florida. But good luck to Bret Hart in his venture into the restaurant field, or bar restaurant field. It would be very interesting to go to Calgary and be able to attend the Hitman Bar. Maybe sometime in the future that may happen for me. Not opening a bar, going to Calgary and seeing the Hitman's Bar. I doubt it, but you never know. But WWE, or WrestleVotes at least, do shine a little bit of a light on the reason why WWE decided to reveal Cody Rhodes' surprise in the Royal Rumble, as opposed to just leaving it up to being a surprise. And their source basically says that a number of fans expected it to begin with, and also that they are more than pleased with the other surprises that they have planned for the Royal Rumble. So they didn't necessarily need to rely so heavily on Cody Rhodes as a surprise for the Rumble. With that being said, it should raise some intrigue and a little bit of interest for the Royal Rumble as to who possibly could be other surprises for the Royal Rumble, that even though using the logic of a lot of fans expected Cody Rhodes to be one of the surprises, and that being legitimate, that a lot of fans did expect Cody Rhodes to be one of the surprises, that it does raise the question of, well, if WWE is more than happy with the other surprises, who are the other surprises? That does raise the question, in my opinion, because there's been a lot of rumors, and I do think that there's been a bit less rumors than there are normal, but they've been more shrouded among just a small group of people, namely talent within the ranks of New Japan. I will say Cultaholic did mention the fact that Zack Ryder could be one of the people, with the possibility of Chelsea Green's return taking place at the Royal Rumble. So Matt Cardona could be one of the surprises for the Royal Rumble, which would be, in fact, a great surprise, especially if he's back as Matt Cardona, which I don't see him returning to the company as anything but Matt Cardona if WWE does choose to bring him back. So that is something, but I do agree that because most people expected, if not everybody expected, Cody Rhodes to come back at the Royal Rumble, the fact that he actually is coming back at the Royal Rumble and WWE is making it obvious that he's coming back at the Rumble, it's fitting that they announced his return beforehand. And it makes a whole lot of sense. Another thing worth noting is that among the recent lawsuits that Vince McMahon has had filed against him by shareholders, that there was a settlement reached in one that has been ongoing since November. That was the lawsuit between him and Rita Chatterton. This has been something that has been wildly speculated upon and talked about since the 80s. I am happy that Rita is getting that she has gotten some form of recompense for what happened to her back in the 80s. I honestly don't know a lot about this situation, but I'm happy that Vince has had to face some consequences for his past indiscretions. Because he deserves it. Simple as that. But I'm happy that Rita has been able to get some maybe I really, it's a delicate situation to speak of, but I'm happy that Vince had to pay for what he did. Fair enough. Onto some more more positive news. There has been rumors going around that The Rock, maybe that due to recent release of a new Rock t-shirt, that The Rock may be now featured. It is now questionable if The Rock is going to be featured at the Royal Rumble due to the WWE releasing a new t-shirt for The Rock on the WWE shop website. Dave Meltzer did mention that it is likely that alongside people like The Rock, people like Ric Flair and others that are featured at the 30th Raw anniversary, that is why that they did it. that it has nothing to do with The Rock being a part of WrestleMania. I mean, the Royal Rumble, and that it is just basically WWE's way of integrating the legends into the, integrating the 30th anniversary and the legends, etc., etc. All that good stuff. But some people are looking at it as the possibility of The Rock being a part of, that The Rock is going to be a part of the Royal Rumble, and that this is basically guaranteeing that The Rock will be facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, etc., etc., etc. But you also got to factor in the fact that the XFL is officially relaunching next month, and that The Rock it is The Rock's property now, and it is something that The Rock has been investing in as far as relaunching. So that has to play a part in things, and he may be a little bit too busy to be doing the wrestling and working with the XFL. So I think that has to bear in mind, that being The Rock's schedule, if he would be able to invest the proper amount of time in having a premiere match at WrestleMania and working with the XFL, because I do believe it was according to Dave Meltzer that said that The Rock went on record saying that he is not in physical peak shape to be in a premiere match at WrestleMania, meaning, well, he's busy with other things and can't train the way he normally trains before hopping into the ring, but he does not discount the idea of having a wrestling match down the road. What does that mean? Well, as the Cultaholic guy said, The Rock ward off suspicion a few years ago when he did the stuff with WrestleMania 27 to 29, and that could be what he's doing here, but also it could be legitimate that The Rock will not be featured at WrestleMania. We need to now wait a week until Royal Rumble to find out if The Rock will be a part of WrestleMania or not, because if he is not featured in any way, shape, or form in the weeks leading up to or the week following the Royal Rumble, he is not going to be at WrestleMania. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But with that being said, I will see you in the next news video.